not professional medical advice. Just reminding everyone, I'm not a doctor, not a healthcare professional. None of this professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment. You got to continue to work with your doctor, find the winning combination for yourself. This is just something that could be helpful for you on your journey. I was down that path. I was trying different laxatives, trying different medication. I was using creams, and nothing was working. So I'm going to teach you guys this all natural solution. It's called the salt flush protocol. But how I mix it together is very different, and how I drink it is also very different. But I want to go through some very basics first, which is human physiology. When it comes to your digestive system, we're categorically the same. We all have the same digestive system. Now, some people, you may be taller, you may have a much longer digestive system. Some people, they're shorter, and they have a shorter digestive system, that's it. But we all have this long pipework. I want to explain how this works. So food enters your mouth, down the esophagus, into your stomach. Inside your stomach, you have your digestive enzymes breaking down the food. Now over time, you have food entering your small intestines next. Your small intestines is 4.5 meters. It's a very, very long piece of pipework, 4.5 meters, roughly 15 feet. Then food enters your large intestines, feces formation. The large intestines, roughly 1.5 meters in length, and out the back for elimination. Combined, this pipework is 20 feet of roughly 6 meters of pipework. You gotta find a way to clean out this pipework on a consistent basis. This is what I do on a weekly basis. On a weekly basis, I have a protocol that helps me clean out this pipework. Now, many of you, you're chronically constipated. That's why you're watching this video. Maybe you're watching it live or maybe watching it later. Chronic constipation looks like this. And I'm sure many of you have experienced it to different degrees. You are sitting on this toilet, you are huffing and puffing, begging and pleading. You got veins popping out the side of your temples. After all that work, all that twist and shout, what did you get out of all that work? A whole lot of nothing. A small little pebble came out. And you may be wondering, well, where did all that waste material go? It's still somewhere in your body. Now over here, we're looking at the colon. Many people, they have a congested colon full of fecal matter hardened over time. You need to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right, first of all. That's your number one goal when you're dealing with chronic constipation. When your elimination is incomplete, residues of all feces, they're building up on layers on the walls of the colon. As they putrefy, they're causing you health problems, pain, and discomfort. Now, I'm going to discuss some other practical pessimisms, liabilities, concerns later. But believe me, if you're not treating your chronic constipation, it's not going to go away on its own. And you may have to opt in for different medical procedures and surgeries, which I'll discuss in detail later in my presentation. Today, I want to go through something very simple. This is a protocol that I use over 5 years now. I'm very, very proficient at it. I taught the same protocol to my own family members. I taught this protocol to hundreds of people all around the world, not just in the English language. I taught this also in Chinese, and many people have benefited from this protocol. Now, you may find other protocols online that also says salt flush protocol, but the proportions are different. The way how I mix it is different, and the way how I drink it is also different. So pay attention. You're going to go to the grocery store, buy yourself some apple cider vinegar without any sugar added. This is just plain apple cider vinegar. Over here, next you're going to buy some type of a citrus fruit. You can use limes, lemons, or grapefruit. I highly recommend using grapefruit. They're the best tasting. But if you're on a lot of different medications, you may not just throw down a bunch of grapefruits because you'll have drug interactions with your medications. So you may just have to stick with limes or lemons. For those of y'all, if you're not on any medications, I highly recommend using grapefruit. Next, you're going to get yourself some pink salt. You want to get the fine grained pink salt. Now, if you do not want to use pink salt, I also recommend you guys get something called food grade Epsom salt. Okay? Food grade Epsom salt you can find on Amazon. Most Epsom salts on Amazon, they're for soaking purposes only. They're not for consumption. They're not food grade. I want you guys to get food grade Epsom salt. You guys understand? Next, this is just black coffee, but it's prepared separately. And it's completely optional if you don't drink coffee. I also want you to get at the grocery store all these other items that could be very helpful on your journey to recovering your health. So these are a couple other items you want to get at the grocery store. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. You want to prepare yourself a kit so you're always ready. If you're on vacation or you're traveling, you can take this kit with you when you travel. Get yourself a bottle of water. Bottle of water is about 2 liters in volume. You're going to buy yourself a metal mesh strainer, okay? Next, you're going to get yourself a single press squeezer. A single press squeezer for your limes, lemons, or grapefruit. Get yourself another set of measuring spoons, measuring cups. They got to be accurate. They must say the amount of milliliters on them. Different parts in the world, they have different measuring spoons, and people measure differently. This is apple cider vinegar. This is pink salt. Get yourself another stainless steel thermos. The stainless steel thermos has a volume over 1 liter. Okay. This is another stainless steel cup for the black coffee, optional. But I want you to get other items that are unbreakable. Do not use glass. Do not use any ceramic, any items that could break. Okay? So once again, apple cider vinegar, limes, lemons, grapefruit, pink salt, or food grade Epsom salt. Okay? And black coffee is prepared separately without any sugar or cream. Small little details are important. On your table, I want you to start mixing things in the stainless steel thermos with these ingredients. I'm going to show you how to get that done. This is what you do. So the night before, you're finishing dinner around 7:30 p.m. You're not eating any late night snacks, you guys understand? You can still drink water, you can still drink some liquids, but you're not eating any food after 7:30. The next morning when you wake up in the morning, same thing, you can drink liquids, but you're not eating any breakfast. Okay, there's going to be a little bit of fasting season. It's not very long, you guys can do it. Now, at 11 a.m., I want you to make this in the stainless steel thermos. I want you to add 1 tablespoon and 2 teaspoons of pink salt, or food grade Epsom salt. So that's 25 milliliters total. All right, you're using pink salt, the fine grained pink salt, or the food grade Epsom salt. A tablespoon is 15 ml, and each teaspoon is 5 ml, so total you have 25 ml. See, that right there is very different. Some people are using different salt flush protocols online, and they're only using about 10, right? I use about 25. I use 25. Next, you're going to use cut and squeeze 3 lemons or limes. We're using 1 grapefruit. You want to filter it through the metal mesh strainer after you squeeze it. Cut and squeeze it through the single press squeezer. You want to filter it through the metal mesh strainer. Okay? You do not want to have any pulp or any seeds inside this salt flush protocol. Next, you're going to add a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar, it's going to be about 60 ml, a 1/4 cup, 60 ml. You can see how I laid all this out, right? So this is a 1/4 cup. And over here with the pink salt, you're using the tablespoon once and using the teaspoon twice. Next, you're going to add 2.5 cups of hot water. 2.5 cups of hot water, you want to begin to stir that up in the stainless steel thermos. You can stir for 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Make sure all that salt dissolves evenly in the stainless steel thermos. Then you're going to add another cup of hot water in to stir it up even more, okay? Over here, this volume is going to be about 1 liter, slightly over 1 liter of this solution. On your table, after you get everything all cleared out, okay, you prepare this maybe in the kitchen, and now you're sitting down, you only have 3 items on your desk. the water bottle, you're going to have the sulfurous solution in the stainless steel thermos, and you have black coffee. What we're trying to do, we're trying to clean out this whole pipe work. We're trying to clean out both the small and large intestines. And this is something that you drink down. This is not a coffee enema. This is not a water enema. You may find different protocols online. That's not what this is. This is something that you drink down. And our goal is to completely clean out both the small and large intestines combined. Earlier in this presentation, we went over some human physiology in regards to our digestive system. Another way you can look at this is just a simple diagram. The simple diagram they call the alimentary canal or the food canal. Once again, food enters your mouth, down the esophagus, into your stomach. Digestive enzymes breaking down the food. Then food enters your small intestines next, 4.5 meters, followed by the large intestines, another 1.5 meters in length, and out the back for elimination. When you're drinking the sulfurous solution, that's why you got to keep your stomach empty. If you have a bunch of food in here, this protocol is not going to work. Okay, it's going to cause so much intestinal blockages. You're trying to drink the solution down. You want to drink it as nice and slow. It's not a race. Once again, the protocol, how you drink it, is so important. So you guys can screenshot this. This is how you prepare it. And now I'm going to teach you guys how to drink this thing down slowly. It's not a race. If you make it a race, make it very pressure, then you might throw up the whole thing. So this is what we're going to do. Bottled water, you're going to take a tiny sip of this bottled water. Hold it in your mouth, then take a bigger gulp of the sulfurous solution, drinking it down. Then you're going to sip on black coffee here to reward yourself with a familiar taste. Once again, this is a tiny sip of this water. You're going to take a bigger gulp of the sulfurous solution, drinking it down. Then you're going to reward yourself with a tiny sip of this black coffee with a familiar taste to reward yourself. Okay? That's the steps 1 through 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can take 45 minutes, you can take an hour, you can take an hour and a half. None of this it's not a race. I don't know why people see this and they think that I gotta finish this super fast. No. You can pace yourself. Tiny sip, bigger gulp, tiny sip. Your number one goal is to finish this thing down. You want to put the sulfurous solution down. If you do not like the taste of the sulfurous solution, no worries. You guys can buy yourself a stainless steel straw. Okay? There are different sizes that you can buy online. Something you can use again and again. And that's going to help you avert some of this taste. Because oftentimes when we're dealing with something unfamiliar, we don't know what it is, or we can get very tensed up. And even before drinking this, I want you to guys get into a very relaxed state. You guys can listen to some classical music, Rachmaninoff, Piano Concerto 2, Movement 2 on repeat. Something that you like to listen to that can bring you to a calm, relaxed, meditative state. As you're breathing, you can feel your stomach rise up and down. That's the goal. And that's going to increase your probability of success. When you're drinking this down, you got to be as relaxed as possible so the sulfurous solution can pass into your small intestines. Begin cleaning this out. Okay? Over here, if you're not relaxed, over here, this pyloric sphincter is not going to open. And all the sulfurous solution is going to start to back up into your esophagus. You do not want that. If you have any feelings where you're like, oh, I might throw up, then you set everything aside. Do not do anything. You want to just take your mind away from doing the sulfurous protocol. Do not drink anything. Deep breathing. And wait until those feelings subside. After they subside, then you can resume the drinking of the sulfurous protocol. Now, some people, depending on their rhythm, Might take 45 minutes, take an hour and a half, doesn't matter. After you finish, you just relax, okay? What I usually do, I watch some YouTube videos, take my mind off of this whole process. I take my mind off of trying to force something to happen. The best place to be in is you are watching something that has nothing to do with detox. Maybe you're watching some comedy, and as you're doing that, you have a much better chance for the selfless solution to go through. The more tense you are, the more you think that you must produce a certain result. That is when you're going to have different problems. So you can watch comedy, you can listen to some of your favorite YouTube videos. I don't care what you do. After you finish, you're just going to relax, maybe do some light stretchings, and over time, you're going to have that sense you want to use the bathroom, okay? And when you have that sense, you just go. And you're never forcing anything out, trying to force something to happen. They just fall out, okay? So first you're going to have solids are going to fall out, and over time, it's going to transition over to soft poop. Over time, it's going to transition to really, really soft poop. Depending on where you are, you're going to be using the bathroom many, many times. You're going to be going back and forth. That's the reason why I told you guys to use the stainless steel thermos and the stainless steel for your coffee, because you may be knocking things over. If you do that, you're going to knock all this glass or ceramic, now they're all over the floor, and you may slip and fall. You're going to slip and fall, hurt yourself, and cut yourself on this glass. Don't do that. You're going to end up at the ER and feeling really dumb because I already told y'all. Now, when the poop becomes really, really soft like this, I want you to continue to drink from this bottled water. You can take this bottled water into the bathroom with you. Continue to drink to add that water pressure to the very beginning of your digestive tract to continue to flush out all the debris from the small and large intestines. That's the goal. Our goal is to produce a laxative effect, a diarrhea tsunami that you never experienced before in your entire life. We want to expel all the waste material that's been trapped inside your small and large intestines. When you're doing this protocol, you're expelling the waste from your colon, expelling the waste from your small intestines. Even the selfless protocol that you drank earlier is also in the toilet. And now you're adding more water pressure on top. That's why I told y'all when you guys are first starting to drink this, you're taking a tiny sip. You're not drinking the bottled water, you're taking a tiny, tiny sip. So you still have plenty of water in this bottled water, and you're just drinking this, adding more water pressure, maybe taking it to the bathroom with you. Sitting on the toilet, you can drink this water down, and that's going to expel the waste from the large intestines, small intestines. Salt flush is already out in the toilet, and this waste material spewing out from your behind, the color should become lighter and lighter over time. That's the expectation. We should expect to see the lighter color coming through because you're adding more water pressure, and that's how you know you're really doing a really excellent job getting the waste material out of the body. Now, the smell of this diarrhea tsunami is absolutely horrendous. You definitely want to warn your loved ones in advance. Most people, they have no idea how much waste material is trapped inside their body. Now, and this is going to be out of this world, okay? You want to get your fan going. You want to make sure that get the ventilation going, get the windows open, because this is worse than roadkill. Think about the worst rotting smell you've ever had, that you've experienced in your entire life. This is worse than that, okay? So I want to spin through all my social media, take a short break, see if you guys have any questions for me. And you guys can join me on the Zoom if you want to. Hello, YouTube. Where from? If you're all, some interaction along this would be very helpful. so I kind of know where I want to direct on this presentation. So I'm going to post real quick on my Twitter. So it doesn't matter where you're from, you guys can, as long as you have Zoom. If you have Zoom, you can jump on my call, but you gotta let me know if you want to jump on. The way that you do that, you want to go on Twitter or X and just send me a message directly. Say you want to jump on the Zoom call. And I can go back and forth with you, discuss, okay, what are you currently dealing with, okay? With chronic constipation, you guys, you want to fix this early. You don't want to just let it sit. Your 1 to 2 days chronic constipation, it must be addressed. And most people, they don't address it. They just ignore it. And it's going to become 3 to 4 days. It's going to be 5 to 6 days. Before you know it, you're a whole week into it. So today we discussed what exactly is chronic constipation. If you're not going to the bathroom every single day, you're chronically constipated. That's the definition. Today we discussed using some very simple ingredients, mixing it in a very specific manner, okay, but also drinking it in a very specific manner to help you create a laxative effect. Now, the water color of what's expelled from your behind is going to become lighter and lighter. When you're sitting on the toilet, I also want you guys to be as relaxed as possible. You can also just get yourself a stool. The human being, we are designed to use the bathroom in a squatting position, not at a 90 degree. This modern toilet has caused so many problems for people all over the world in regards to their digestive health, because we are not designed to use this. So you can guys get yourself a box, get yourself a stool to help you mimic the squatting position. You can also consider lifting the toilet seat. You don't need the toilet seat. The toilet seat is going to cause a lot of problems for you as it squeezes under your butt cheeks. It squeezes under your butt cheeks, it's going to squeeze on your anus. Now, after you complete this diarrhea tsunami, I want you to do a couple of different things. You guys can just relax and do nothing. You can rest, okay? You don't have to rush back into eating. In fact, you have to do probiotics first. You can't go back into your trash eating, all right? Don't make any plans with your friends and eat a whole bunch of buffet or stuff like that. You're going to throw up. So you want to work with some probiotics that you know is going to do well in your body. You tried it before. Now, I tried so many different probiotics, expensive ones, inexpensive ones. The one that works really well are inexpensive ones. But your body is different. You have to find the one that works for you the best. You want to recoat back up your small and large intestinal probiotics. This microbiome is like a protective layer, okay? Next, you want to also get a lot of electrolytes back in your body, because you've been drinking all this water, and water is a solvent by itself, right? It's going to pull out a lot of your minerals as you're drinking that much, you're still flushing it out. So you got to replenish that back. The sodium, chloride, magnesium, calcium, potassium, the coconut water, the watermelon, okay? And you can even make your own Gatorade. You can find different recipes online. How do you make your own Gatorade? And that's going to replenish your electrolytes back up. We are electromagnetic beings, okay? And if you want to have more energy, if you want to have more homeostasis, balanced body, you got to have electrolytes in your body. And if you do not feel hungry right away, you don't have to eat right away. Maybe some of you, you're tired doing this afterwards. You just rest. You listen to your body and just rest and do nothing. The body, we've been so taxed with so much overeating and chronic constipation. Many people, they're eating on top of chronic constipation. The digestive system never takes a rest. So they're constantly tired. Why don't you give your body, allow the time to let it rest and don't do anything? And when you do eat something later on, you want to just work with one ingredient at a time. Some people that have to do the selfish protocol, they're just eating everything like they haven't eaten anything before in their entire life. Don't do that. You're going to feel awful, okay? Exercise some self-control. I'm going to show you guys why some people, they're so extremely hungry after doing this detox protocol. I mean, there are so many things off your radar screen I'm going to be sharing with y'all today. And you want to piece the puzzle together for yourself and find your winning combination. Now, as we're looking at this main protocol, I also want to provide a lot of liabilities concerns, because many of you do not look into this until it's too late. You think that you have all the time in the world to fix your chronic constipation, or you're just so young right now, you're only in your early 20s, and you think that somehow your 2 to 3 days chronic constipation is okay. And you've convinced yourself that this is just how your body works. And there's very little that you can do to fix it. You try different probiotics, you try different laxatives. I don't care if it's OTC laxatives, or you've gone to some GI doctors, and it's not working. If you don't fix chronic constipation, I want to give you guys different medical conditions that could happen to you. One of them is called a toxic megacolon. A toxic megacolon is characterized by this life-threatening complication, inflammatory bowel diseases. You get the swelling and dilation of the large intestine, and due to the inflammation and accumulation of large amount of gas. This is more than just gas. This is all the stuff you've eaten all over the years. Think about all the Burger Kings, the Taco Bells, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Domino's pizzas, Bojangles, okay? You got the Costco frozen pizzas, Costco samples, the ice creams from Baskin Robbins. All the stuff you've eaten all over the years, the freaking Hot Pockets. If you're not getting that waste material out, I guarantee you it's still somewhere in your body. It is just getting compacted into a corner, possibly in your colon, and over time, it's not getting out, right? So the only thing that the colon can do is continue to dilate, get a little bit bigger every year, year over year. Now, even when you have a bowel movement, it's never a complete exit of this waste material. You may have hardened fecal matter on the surface of your colon. Now, so when you're having a bowel movement, you may have only the middle section that is somewhat loosened up, and that allows the waste material to exit. But you still have a lot of other waste material inside the colon, and that's what's causing chronic inflammation, because this waste material that's not exiting, if it doesn't exit, it's just going to cause more problems in your digestive tract. Today I want to give you guys a lot of practical pessimism. There's so many surgical procedures out there, and they're ready for you. They want to take your money, right? That's why you want to fix chronic constipation early. This is called a left hemicolectomy. They're removing a portion of your colon. The doctor said that, well, this portion of your colon is diseased, but don't worry, we know how to get that cut out. Once they cut it out, they're going to reattach the remaining sections, okay? They think that your body's like a plug-and-play USB port or something that you can just keep on plug and play. Yeah, look these up. Don't just believe me, because, you know, you guys look these up for yourself. Over here, the doctors remove the end portion of your descending portion of your colon. So this disease section removed, but you may be wondering, how does the poop exit out of the body? Well, they're going to install something called a stoma, a hole in the abdominal wall, which allows the waste to leave the body. A colostomy bag attaches to the stoma to collect the waste. You're gonna have to manage this bag for the rest of your life. Okay? And over here, you may be watching this, you're like, this can never happen to me. Go take a nice stroll at your local ICU. Go to multiple hospitals. Okay? Just walk around. You're gonna learn a lot just by walking around. You're gonna find a lot of people with these stoma bags, and many of them, they're quite young. They could be in their 30s and have one of these stoma bags. In their 20s, have one of these stoma bags. Over here, let's just say the doctors remove the ascending portion of your colon. This is called a right hemicolectomy. So over here, this is where your small intestine is connected to your large intestine. This is your appendix. Doctors remove this portion right here. Over here, more plug and play. They're gonna say, okay, all you gotta do is plug back in the small intestine to this part of the colon. Over here, this is called ileoanal anastomosis. This procedure is when the doctors remove the colon, the large intestine. So they remove this green portion here, okay, completely removed. Now what do they do next? They begin to use your small intestines. They're going to use it and create a pouch around the anus, which will continue to allow you to expel waste material out of the anus. Although you're going to have several watery bowel movements daily. What this means is you may have to wear adult diapers for the rest of your life. That is on the radar, okay? Because you didn't fix chronic constipation early. You keep on putting it off. You don't think it's important. You think that this could never happen to me. These procedures are for the elderly people in nursing homes, okay? Nope. Over here, we have a very young lady. She was only 23 years old. At 23, she had a displaced colon. You can see her colon is all jacked up, all over the place. When you're looking at a healthy colon, it should be in this shape. The ascending portion, transverse, has a slight tilt to the upside before making its way back down for waste elimination. Her colon, it is all over the place. It goes up, loops back down, okay? And then it loops back up again. Right now, her colon is pushing up against her lungs areas. She must feel very uncomfortable throughout the whole day. And finally makes way back down for waste elimination. Just imagine any time when she's standing up, this means that the waste material has to fight against gravity just to get to this point in her colon. And her problem was chronic constipation, right? I don't know how long she's been suffering chronic constipation, but she suffered for such a long time that not only did the colon dilate over time, it started to take a different form. It's no longer this shape, right? It's no longer this healthy looking shape, ascending transverse down. Her was going up, loose back down, and then loose her up into her lungs and finally back down. Look at this. That's what we're looking at, okay? It goes up, loose back down, and then loose back up again, and finally back down. What a mess. Over here, this is something called diverculitis. Diverculitis, also very common. According to some medical websites, it said this is seen in 10% of people over the age of 40 and 50% of people over 60. The rate of this disease typically increases with age. Scientists believe that this condition is due to not eating enough fibers. Not eating enough fibers leads to constipation, which puts extra pressure on the colon walls, and this causes diverticula or bulges to form in the weak areas of the colon. So we're looking at these bulges, right? Diverculitis, different bulges, inflammation. I'm just reading from these different medical websites. It doesn't mean I actually agree with every single word that they put. Over here, the risk factors for diverculitis may include age over 40, male, overweight, eating a low fiber diet, eating higher fat and red meat, not enough exercise, and taking non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like aspirin, ibuprofen, steroids, opioids, and smoking. Moreover, the signs and symptoms of this condition include pain, tenderness in the left lower side of the abdomen, nausea, vomiting, chokes, cramps in the lower abdomen, constipation or diarrhea, rectal bleeding. Listen, when you go to the doctors and you tell them you're dealing with chronic constipation, they always say, oh, it's because you're not eating enough fiber. Just eat more fiber, eat more fiber. It doesn't make any sense to me that if you can't even fix your current chronic constipation, you can't go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right. How is eating more fiber going to help you? You're eating fiber on top of chronic constipation, which you're packing in more waste material. You can't even get the waste material that you have right now out of your body, and you're eating more fiber? Help me understand if that makes sense. Can you guys see that? It's important for you guys to always question, right? You should question this video presentation. Why should you believe everything that I say, right? And I don't care if I'm reading off of the Mayo Clinic Foundation. I can think for myself. Over here, ulcerative colitis, also very common. Many people, they are dealing with an ulcerative surface in their colon. Different symptoms including diarrhea, bloody stools, abdominal cramping, and weight loss. Now, when you're dealing with something like this, what doctors usually do, they prescribe corticosteroids. Corticosteroids, immunosuppressants, or biologics. This classification of drugs suppresses the immune system. So in the short term, you may not experience the symptom flare-ups, but you always have to ask yourself, am I really treating the root of the problem or just suppressing the symptoms temporarily? Now, I think many people, they are taking in way too many antibiotics, and the antibiotics are eliminating the microbiome, your probiotics. So you no longer have the protective layer, and chronically, over time, you're going to get that ulcerative surface. Over here, you're dealing with Crohn's disease. Crohn's disease, also very common. What are some of the symptoms? You're dealing with diarrhea, stomach aches or cramps, blood in the stool, tiredness or fatigue, weight loss. Now, the doctors always say, well, something has to do with your genes, problem with the immune system, a previous stomach bug, abnormal balance of gut bacteria. Okay? Over here, there's just more and more problems that can go not just in this large intestine, but also in your small intestines. I'm going to check on my social media, ask any questions. So where are you from? YouTube. And I'm just going to check on my Twitter real quick, see if any messages come through. So you guys can actually jump on this call. This is not a pre-recorded call, okay? This is a live call I'm doing right now. So if you're watching this, this is meant for you, all right? And hopefully you guys can learn a lot. I already discussed the protocol, but I also want to explain something else a lot of people don't know about this other health procedure. It's called colon hydrotherapy. You have a lot of waste material trapped inside your large intestines right now. And this procedure is not made available in every city. You have to really search. Like, I don't have this in my current city now. I have to go to a bigger city. But what this is you're going to lay down on this apparatus. You're going to have your feet kicked up. And the colon hydrotherapist, they're going to put in hot water in your back end to get the waste material out of the colon. Now, a lot of people, they just have so much waste material trapped inside their colon. You may have to start here. You may not do my selfless protocol right away. You may have to do this maybe every single day for an entire week. Depends on how severely chronically constipated you are. and get that balance back in. Over here, the colon hydrotherapist, going to put in that hot water, and some people, they have that hard and fecal matter stuck on the surface area of their colon, and over time, that waste material will be able to exit. You got to communicate very well with your colon hydrotherapist, okay? Because a lot of y'all, you're not communicating well, and what's going to happen is that the colon hydrotherapist may be putting in the water pressure too quick. If they're putting in the water pressure too quick, you might get into a lot of trouble. The poop is going to go outside of your colon because you're going to get a perforation in the colon. Now poop is flowing out of the colon, and your body may go into sepsis shock. You're going to end up at the ER. It's life-threatening. When you're in sepsis shock, it's life-threatening. So is there a risk to any procedure? There's always a risk. All right, there's always a risk if you do any type of procedure. I don't care if it's colon hydrotherapy. I don't care if it's a sulfose protocol like I described earlier in my presentation. But I can also assure you, there's going to be a lot of problems waiting for you if you do absolutely nothing. And that's what we're going through, the practical pessimism section right now. If you do absolutely nothing, you're looking at a toxic megacolon. If you're not doing a toxic megacolon, you may get a portion of your colon removed, dealing with left hemicolectomy, a colostomy, a right hemicolectomy, an ileoanal anastomosis. You're dealing with colon severely displaced. You may be dealing with diverticulitis, ulcerative colitis, or even Crohn's disease. When you're examining these different diseases, I want you to observe the different symptoms. Notice how I went over diverticulitis, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease. Have you noticed that these symptoms are very, very similar? It's the combination of blood in the stool, okay, pain, right, tiredness, diarrhea, constipation, across the board. Listen, a lot of doctors, they have no idea what the hell they're doing. I've seen so many people that have gone down the path of visiting different GI specialists. So they go to the primary care or their GP. They said, I have this problem. They get referred to a GI doctor. And after they go to the GI doctor for 2 to 3 months, they have to switch out to another GI because they're not getting any real results. They're still struggling with the same problems. They're still chronically constipated. They're not getting regular. And things are just getting progressively worse. Even with the highest dosage of OTC, laxatives, or even the highest dosages of prescription strength laxatives, they're not getting their problems resolved. In addition, I want to give you guys some more problems that could happen to you. For example, many people are dealing with a rectal prolapse. Please do not think this is limited to only the elderly people. There are young people dealing with this now because they're chronically constipated. And that severe straining, infrequent stools and severe straining, they're putting a lot of pressure on their anus to such a point their rectum is flipping inside out. That's what happens. As that happens, they may have to deal with anal abscesses and fistulas. So we have infected cavity filled with pus near the anus or rectum. Now they have to deal with infections around that area. Now, some people may be dealing with anal fissures. These are just cracks. There could be splits, okay, breakages around the anus. Could be very, very painful, very uncomfortable, and it bothers you throughout the whole day. And many people in the world are struggling with this. Or they're dealing with hemorrhoids. Listen, very embarrassingly, even I was dealing with hemorrhoids at one point. I was going to the local pharmacy. I was buying that preparation H, okay? And did you think that preparation H really fixed your hemorrhoids? No, it doesn't. What's the problem? The problem is upstream. If you're dealing with chronic constipation, you're gonna be using the bathroom, you have that sensation of, oh, I need to use the bathroom. And you think that there's always something about to come out, right? So that's why you sit there in anticipation, but nothing comes out. So you're adding in that pressure, and that's how you develop hemorrhoids over time. And you get that combination of pain, anal itching, and rectal bleeding. But I can tell y'all, listen, you have to fix chronic constipation. When you're dealing with different problems like this, the rectal prolapse, anal fistulas, the anal fissures or hemorrhoids, you may be referred to a proctologist. Many of you don't know what a proctologist is. I'll explain that to you right now. So these are highly specialized medical doctors. They're called colorectal surgeons. They fix problems around the colorectal area. Okay, so you go to these guys, they're going to examine you. They got their latex gloves ready. They make a lot of money. Listen, because this is a big industry and people don't want to let other people know they have this problem. So they go see them, they examine them, and they say that, oh, we are finding some different internal and external hemorrhoids. We got some fistulas, we can help with that. You may have some rectal prolapse, and they're going to help you do some surgical procedure to fix that up as well. However, have you asked yourself, are you fixing the root of the problem? What is the root of the problem? The root of the problem is chronic constipation. You are still dealing with an impacted colon full of trash. The proctologist is all the way down here. They're fixing only this portion right here. I don't care if it's the hemorrhoids, anal fissures, fistulas, abscesses, prolapses, fixing right here. But if you cannot go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right, guess what's going to happen? You're going to go back and go see that proctologist again and again. You guys understand? And he looks forward to seeing you because he wants that money. He wants that money, and he wants you to keep on doing these procedures. Okay? That's how he makes a lot of his money. Do you guys understand? I'm going to spin through my social media, see if there are any questions I can help answer. Hey, so I appreciate you, whoever's on my YouTube watching. Is it Lola? Lola from South Carolina. What's happening? What's happening? So I'm just going to type a few things in here. Ask your questions or send me a DM if you want to be on this call. If you want to be on the live show. Listen, if you're on this call, if you watch this video, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you guys know when I actually go online. I try to do this fairly often, these live calls. So there's a good chance you guys are going to catch me online, okay? So today I want to share something with you that's probably off your radar screen. Most people, they often overlook. It is internal parasites. Now, many people, they are struggling with their chronic constipation. I'm just going to read a few testimonials. Well, I won't say they're testimonials. They're basically people that are crying out for help on the internet. These are people that have already gone down that path. They try to search for solutions, trying to do the right thing, listen to their GP, listen to their primary care, going to the GI specialist. Guess what? They're so impacted. They're looking for answers online in different Facebook groups, subreddits, everywhere in the world. So this person says, I'm impacted. All home remedies, OTC laxatives, enemas, dietary changes, additions, nutritional oils, quit working last month. All of a sudden, the ER couldn't reach her and their enemas didn't work. The highest doses of lenses does nothing. and the Miralax colonoscopy prep is just giving you overflow diarrhea. Small bits are coming off the impaction, probably from the hospital enemas I got Saturday. What else can I do? I feel like the impaction is just way too big to get out, and it seems like nothing is softening it enough. Over here, hello, I've been struggling with severe chronic constipation for a couple of years now, but it's only gotten worse over the last 6 months or so. I've been prescribed Trulance and lenses, highest doses for both, and neither of those medications are working very well for me at this point. I can pass a little bit of stool, but not much, so I'm constantly extremely backed up. I have to spend about half my waking hours lying down because I'm so bloated and nauseous and often in pain. Put yourself in the shoes of this person right now. As far as OTC laxatives, nothing really works there either. Localized, enema, suppositories, magnesium citrate, nothing works. I was supposed to have a colonoscopy today, but couldn't keep the bowel prep down. The procedure had been rescheduled for a month from now, and one of the nurses at my GI office prescribed a pill-based cleanse. The pill is called Sutab, and I was warned ahead of time that patients often have trouble completely emptying their bowels with this pill. So given my struggles, I am doubtful that this will actually work for me. Can you feel the hopelessness in this person's writing? Here's my question. Has anyone here gotten to the point where nothing works? Nothing works. Meds were OTC laxatives and had to have some sort of in-office med procedure done. I'm so sick and so miserable. What about professional colonics? I'm not even sure how those work. If anyone has any advice or experience with this, I'd be very grateful if you could share with me what you ended up doing and what the outcome was like. Thank you. Yesterday I made a video about reverse engineering problems. I don't care what type of problem you're having right now, or you are getting some reports, maybe family members or your close friends, they're telling you they're having this problem. And they're going to the hospital for this, going to the hospital for that. You want to take time, reverse engineering that problem. Most doctors will always tell you you're dealing with this from a genetic predisposition. You have to ask yourself, is this genes that's the problem, or was it negligence? I talk real on this call. Okay? If something happens to my health, I blame myself right away. I don't blame anybody else. I don't blame on my genes. I don't blame on my whatever. There's nothing else to blame but myself. And I have to reverse engineer. If I'm dealing with some problems right now, how do I reverse engineer and fix it? Or if I'm listening to somebody else's woes and struggles right now, can I piece the puzzle together and figure out how did they end up there? Okay? And that would be a lesson for me. Maybe I'm already, further down and I'm having some struggles, the early signs, and I ignore it. Negligence, right? And eventually I may end up like them. So what you guys got to do, it's like I'm looking at this person's problem, not professional medical advice. I think that if she doesn't, or this person doesn't have a whole bunch of, let's just say prolapses, or anal fissures, or hemorrhoids, they may have to do that colon hydrotherapy, almost every single day for an entire week. Okay? And they have to do the probiotics. They may have to take some coconut oil to help rebalance back up the bacteria. Also, you want to do electrolytes, replenish with electrolytes in your body. And you want to be eating very soft foods, only eating one ingredient at a time, and just rest until your body tells you, okay, I can handle more. Okay? Rebuild back up the microbiome, and you're going to have to do some type of detox protocol every single week. So after the colon hydrotherapy, you're going to have to do something that also cleans out the small and large intestines combined. Now, I'm looking at this problem. There's many people struggling with this right now. They've gone to the GI doctors. They've been prescribed. Look at this. She said This person said the highest dosage of Trulance and Linzess. These are prescription strength laxatives. She still cannot fix her chronic constipation. That's why I got telling y'all, you have to look into internal parasites. Because most doctors, they don't look into this. And when you tell them about internal parasites, many of them, they will mock you, okay? They will throw a corticosteroid in your face and tell you to go home. So you have to look for these up for yourself. And do not believe anything that I say, right? Go to your local library. Go pick up some books on parasitology. There are a lot of free books online. You can go Library of Congress, go to archive.org, and when it comes back up, you'll find so many books on parasitology. And of course, you can go on Amazon, a lot of great books. A lot of them are in Kindle, so you can read them today. Right? A lot of PubMeds on parasitology. Many people, they think that parasites, they're only limited to third world countries. Well, that's not true. If you live in Germany, you live in Switzerland, live in Australia, New Zealand, you live in the United States, there are plenty of parasites. People can find parasites in their Whole Foods market salmon, where they're Costco salmon. People just take these home and they make sushi with it. Now, these are parasites you can see with your natural eyes, but there are a lot of parasites you cannot see because they're so small, or the eggs are so small. You will not be able to see them with your natural eye. In Japan, they have a parasite museum. This parasite museum has 60,000 specimens. Now, according to this website, right about 100 different species of parasites can attack the human body. 100, okay? The United States also has a national parasite collection, has about 100,000 specimens, and every year this collection just gets bigger and bigger. But every year they find new organisms, they find new animals, and as they study this animal, they find other parasites that can attack these organisms, and they add this to their collection, right? I want you guys to look these up. Today I'm just going to go over 4 parasites that are very common. These are full-blown organisms. We're not even talking about single-cell protozoans. These are parasites that can grow to such a big size you can see with your natural eye. We have the liver fluke, pinworms, tapeworms, and roundworms. Let's go through these right away. Over here, we're dealing with liver flukes. Liver flukes, they first hatch in water, and you can see how they work their way up through bigger and bigger organisms. That's how they do things. So they begin to attack a snail, extract its nutrient resources, and grow to a certain size. After they grow to a certain size, they're going to land on some vegetation. The cow or the sheep, they come over here and consume the vegetation, and that's how the liver fluke gets into their system. Over here, talk to anybody that is in ranching, Idaho, North, South Dakota, Colorado, New Zealand, Australia, Texas, I don't care. Anybody that is in ranching, they're dealing with cattle, they're dealing with sheep, they have to deal with this almost every year. Because they have to take medications for them. Otherwise, their livestock, they get incredibly sick. Now, there are a lot of people right now, they are fascinated with the Liver King. The Liver King is telling them to eat raw liver. Well, you may be consuming liver flukes. Liver flukes, they love to attack the liver due to its nutritional value. Over here, as you're eating different raw foods, you got steak tartars, Korean version, French version, or even Korean barbecue. You're eating raw liver. You're consuming liver flukes. Liver flukes, they want to attack the liver because the liver is a storage of vitamins and minerals. Okay, so it's going to go there, attack your liver, consume its resources, continue to survive and replicate inside of you. I want you guys to do some homework later. Go on YouTube. And go on YouTube and just type in liver fluke Animal Planet. Liver flukes Animal Planet. This documentary was just crazy. It was insane. So this lady was dealing with liver flukes for over 4 years. And there were times she was in so much pain she went to the ER. At the ER, the doctors ran all these tests. This is the one to watch. I want you guys to watch this one. After they ran all those tests, doctors come back and tell her, we can't find anything wrong with you. Isn't that just the craziest thing to hearing? Okay? Because most doctors, they don't look into internal parasites. They don't want you to know. I think the people that teach medical doctors, and they just don't teach people about internal parasites. They don't want you to know because it's a big money maker for them, right? So for 4 years, she was suffering, and many people, they are suffering from different diseases. Parasites are consuming different parts of their body. Not only that, they're multiplying, so they're just getting progressively worse, They go to the doctors can't find anything wrong. And even if they do different tests for parasites, they return negative. My theory is that there are a lot of false negatives when it comes to tests for parasitology or different parasite tests. They don't want you to find the culprit. So you can continue to go through different specialists one after another, spending all your money, taking different meds, okay? Many people are caught in this rat race. It is a trap. So recognize there are so many risks all around you. If you're eating a lot of intestinal products, many parasites. Eating sushi, sashimi, eating hot pot, many parasites. If you're dealing with pork, you like to eat pork, like to eat barbecue steaks, okay, Texas steaks, Texas barbecue. You like to eat raw fish, there are a lot of tapeworms. Tapeworms are extremely common. This is what they look like. This is the rostellum. This is their teeth. They hook onto your body. They're extracting root juices from you all day, every day. And over here, these are the different suckers that they have. It gives them a very strong foothold on the intestinal wall, so they're not going anywhere. Okay? Tapeworms are hermaphrodites. They're very good at survival and reproduction. This is your anatomy. This is the head portion that we just looked at. Over here, these things are called progonids. Progonids, these are reproductive systems. Inside one progonid, it can hold 100,000 eggs. 100,000. Over here, if you have a beef tapeworm that's got 1,000 progonids, okay, each progonid can hold 100,000 eggs. You're dealing with 100 million eggs. So some people, they're so infested with tapeworms, they have additional intestinal blockages. Somebody pulled out a tapeworm that was 60 feet, roughly 18 meters in length. Just think about all that material sitting in your digestive tract. And we're only dealing with one tapeworm. What if this person had many other tapeworms? Right? So they are throwing down a whole bunch of laxatives. These laxatives, they're not going to kill the tapeworms. And the person's going to continue to persist in chronic constipation. If you own a lot of pets, there's a lot of risk if you're dealing with your pets. Your pets can carry a lot of parasites. In the middle photo, you're dealing with somebody with a cat. This cat is spewing out tapeworm. The person's trying to pull it out. The cat is freaked out. Over here, the American bully spewing out a whole bunch of roundworms. Over here, this is the botfly. You guys can look that up for yourself. So if you are dealing with pets and you're very close to them, I'm telling y'all, maybe y'all need to stop, because your pets have so many parasites and you have no idea what they've been doing all day. Some dogs are so stupid, they eat the feces of other dogs, alright? And you just let them lick you like this, and then taking these photos for your Instagram and TikTok, whatever. Not very smart. Over here, you may be drinking contaminated water as you travel abroad. Most people, if you're traveling the Amazons, you go to Indonesia, you gotta go prepared. You gotta know what you're doing. If you're drinking that local water, you're drinking in contaminated water, very likely. Over here, eating a lot of raw foods, raw meats, even raw vegetables can carry parasites. Parasites can attack your different organs, right? Over here, this is cysticercosis. Tapeworms are attacking the liver. Now you have different cysts inside your liver, which is going to cause even additional problems with your digestive system. Because your liver, gallbladder, that whole area, it is connected to the duodenum, which is the beginning part of your small intestines. Some parasites are so problematic, they can begin attacking your brain cells. I'm not joking, this is called neurocysticercosis. Some people, they're showing up at the hospital after like a seizures, severe headaches, they run an MRI. Well, they're finding a lot of tapeworms inside their brains. Pinworms. These guys usually target right around the anus, and this is affecting over 1 billion people worldwide from all socioeconomic classes. So this is not limited to people in third world countries. Plenty of people in the United States, children, adults, got pinworms. Roundworms are also very common. Cats, dogs, people are raising rabbits or ducks as pets. Roundworms. Now, you do have a very powerful immune system consisting of different white blood cells, monocytes, eosinophils, basophil, neutrophil, lymphocytes. The thing is that people are taking so many corticosteroids, they're throwing them down like Tic Tacs. As they do that, they're actually shutting down their immune response. They're telling their white blood cells don't go to work. And in that environment, your parasites continue to survive and replicate. Many videos online, you guys can look these up, okay? People are dealing with so much parasites sitting in their intestinal tract, they have to do surgical procedures to pull them out. Ascaris, this is roundworms, okay, over here, removing intestinal worms and parasites from a bodybuilder, colon, all right? Removing intestinal worms and parasites. This is the intestinal obstruction I'm talking about. People, don't look into this. It doesn't matter how many laxatives you're taking. If you have this many roundworms sitting inside of you, of course you're going to have a tough time getting the waste material out of your colon. Your poop can't even exit. So what happens next? Your colon just continues to dilate, right? You have all this poop getting backed up. You have parasites also sitting in there. Parasites love a filthy environment, just like cockroaches. Cockroaches love a filthy environment. If I got cockroaches in my house, do you know who do I blame? I blame myself. I don't blame the cockroach. It's very likely because I didn't keep the house very tidy, right? I didn't keep the garbage can clean, and that's why they're in there. Cockroaches are there for a reason, because they can smell food in your house. So what do you need to do to create an environment where cockroaches don't want to come in? Parasites, they love a colon that is compacted, which is waste material. They love to eat this material, survive and replicate using this material. And the problem is, if you think about this, your parasites is a living organism. They have to also use the bathroom. They're going to use the bathroom right in your digestive tract, and you're wondering why you have unexplained inflammation that the doctors can't fix. So what do they do next? Oh, you got chronic inflammation? No worries. We're going to throw down more corticosteroids, more immunosuppressants to make it go away, to make the symptoms go away. When you're dealing with inflammation, it's your body telling you something is wrong. And it's your responsibility to figure out, how do I fix that? You need to reverse engineer it. Instead of just taking a drug to suppress the symptoms, thinking that, oh, I don't have this problem anymore. You think the problem is solved? It's not solved. You haven't dealt with the root of the problem. I'm trying to teach you guys to think differently about your health. And as you think differently about your health, you're thinking, what is the root of my problem. Rather than just treating a surface problem, why don't I get to the real root cause? Now, when you guys study up on these herbs, you're going to work with your doctors, naturopathic doctors, herbals, right? And people that are experienced dealing with internal parasites. A lot of doctors are not experienced dealing with internal parasites. As explained before, I want you guys to watch this Animal Planet. She was dealing with liver flukes. She went to see so many doctors, and they had no answers for her. One after the next, we'd run these tests. She's obviously experiencing a lot of pain, agonizing pain, right? But they can't find any problems. And now, sometimes people, they might even gaslight you. Oh, it's all in your head. Okay? Why don't you go see a psychotherapist? Why don't you go see a psychologist? And now they might throw down even more psychiatric medications down into you. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? And now you're not just dealing with your health problems, you're dealing with a whole bunch of side effects that could come from psychiatric medications. And there's a whole series on this. I want you guys to look into this, right? So, the Animal Planet, a lot of, it was a whole series dealing with different parasites, okay? And when I type in liver flu, so you can see how people in, just look, doctors remove huge parasites from eyeballs, right? Look into this. There's something called river blindness in Africa. There's so many different parasites. And that's why you got to study them one by one. Why don't you take 2 months? You just have to study one parasite per day, right? So they can actually become part of your consciousness. It's the more you keep on pushing off this information, you think that they don't exist. Many of y'all will never fix your problems at the root. So these are clove buds. This could be very helpful for eliminating parasites. So before we had all this Western medicine, people were using herbal products. People knew there were parasites, and people that were taking them to get rid of parasites. Wormwood, another traditional herbal medicine, treat different parasitic infections. Over here, this is mebazidol. This is OTC, many parts of the world, and shown to prove to help with eliminate roundworms, whipworms, pinworms, and hookworms. There are many different tinctures online. You guys can research. This is black walnut and wormwood tincture combination. Very helpful. But you got to work with what works for you, right? Work with your doctor. Over here, Panicure C, something like this for your dogs. Of course, you got to work with your vet. Some dogs, they can get really, really sick from taking different anti-parasite medications. For your cats, Frontline, Advocate. Look, cats, these are hunters. If you have a cat that goes in and out of the house, you have no idea what they've been doing all day. If they're going after some rats, you have no idea. If they've been going after squirrels, hanging out with possums, raccoons, parasites everywhere. So there are many different products on the market, but you have to work with your doctor, work with your naturopathic doctor, integrative medicine, and work through different ones and find out, okay, we're going to go through and eliminate parasites one by one, because it is a project. It's not just something you do one time. My analysis, it's going to take about 2 to 3 months of consistent effort to get rid of internal parasites. In the beginning part of my presentation, we talked about how you can clean out the small and large intestines. That's where you got to begin, I think. Whether that's using colon hydrotherapy to begin cleaning out the large intestine, or you're using the self-flush protocol, which I've outlined in the beginning part of my presentation, to clean out both the small and large intestines. You got to begin there. Get the waste material out of the body. Then later, you can consider dealing with internal parasites and getting rid of them one by one. Now, just doing my protocol alone, you're going to flush out some parasites, or you're going to flush out different parasite eggs. Okay, but you're not going to eliminate them all. So that's why these herbal products are important. Okay, and I'm always researching. And if you are experienced with this, if you know how to get rid of internal parasites, I want to learn more. If you know anything about frequencies and sounds, Rife machines, how they work, what frequencies to use to eliminate internal parasites, send me a DM. And I'm just going to check on my different social medias, making sure you guys don't have any questions for me. So this person on my YouTube asked me any question. Or jump on Zoom. So if you want to jump on my Zoom, send me a DM. I know I got maybe one person or two people on my Twitter. You just send me a DM and I will message you the Zoom link. You guys can jump on this call. So right now, I want to open up the floor for y'all. And you guys can go back and forth and kind of discuss, what are you dealing with right now in regards to your digestive health? So if you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to shut this thing down. So this is talking to person on YouTube. I don't even know if you're here. If you're here, let me know if you want to jump on Zoom. If not, I'm going to shut this thing down in 5 minutes. Oh yeah, want to include my program in here for those who are interested. So this is my program. I teach people how to lose weight, but more importantly, I teach people how to get rid of their internal parasites. It's a combination of both, right? So you guys can get this program. You can also think about getting on a coaching call with me. Different options that you guys can get on my program. You guys just look around. I'm going to include that. So this was me just a couple years ago. I was not losing weight, even though I was going to the gym very diligently. I even had a personal trainer, workout plans, eating right, not getting any results. If your digestion is messed up, forget about losing weight. Forget about a lot of things, okay? And this is what I look like pretty much all year round without much effort. Now, I do work out, right? But I don't go to the gym. I know how to take care of my health. And over here, around my program Commit, so people, they do my program on a regular basis. They're experiencing weight loss, improved digestive health, increased energy levels, enhance their self-confidence, reduce brain fog, better body odor control. That's huge. Many of you, if you're chronically constipated, you have crazy, messed up body odor. confidence in your appearance, improve overall health. I've helped so many people all around the world. You guys can look up different testimonials that translate some of these pictures from Chinese to English, whatever language. And some people leave a video testimonial. I want to make that available for y'all, so you guys can also work with me one-on-one. I have a bio link, okay, in my Twitter. Let's go here real quick, show you guys where it's at. So a couple of things you guys can look into. There are free things that you guys can get, and there are also paid programs. Depends on what you're looking for. So over here, you just go to my bio link, click on my link tree, show you what I got. So the first one you just saw was the Dad Bod to Summer Bod Challenge Detox Weight Loss. I deal with how to cleaning out the small and large intestines, but also eliminating internal parasites. Over here, I have a school community you guys can look into as well. In my school community, I have other programs that I'm putting up in there. The one about detox is up there, so I have this one, but I also have another one that is also completed with the liver cleanse. Over here, if you want to tip me for the information you guys receive, you're more than welcome. Now, if you want to work with me one-on-one, health and mental transformation, if you're looking for that confidence, vitality, undeniable allure, this may be the one you want to look into. Now, these are free guides you guys can get. The no BS guide to the digestive system, weight loss secret, get rid of internal parasites, which will get you better skin and also help you lose weight. If you want to improve your liver health, it increases your energy and sex drive. These are all things that I know through and through, okay? You're out of the realm of theory. These are protocols that you guys can follow along. Now, if you want to have video presentations, improving your liver health, it is in my school community. Inside the school community, there's a whole section just for the liver cleanse. And every year, you should learn something more about the body and how you can improve your organs one by one. That's how you're really going to recover your health. I don't know how other ways to explain it, okay? People, most of the time, people are just masking symptoms. They're not dealing with the root cause. They don't understand how all these organs are interconnected together. And when it comes to these different organs, we're categorically the same. Every one of y'all, if you're healthy, right, you have a liver, you have a gallbladder, pancreas, spleen, and every single year you're learning how you can improve the conditions of these different organs one by one. And you got kidneys in the back. You don't want to wait until you have problems. Then you go to the doctors. Then they're gonna cut you up. So why don't you find ways to fix whatever small little symptoms you're dealing with right now, and asking yourself a better set of questions. A better set of questions to fix your own health. Okay? That's what we're led into. So I'm not getting any questions. I want to thank you guys for watching this presentation. Have an amazing rest of your week, and I'll talk to you soon.